Yeah.
Not get a decision in the Donald Trump immunity case today. It has now been 6 weeks since the Supreme Court heard arguments on Trump's claim of absolute immunity from criminal prosecution for his attempt to steal the 2020 election. This means the court is delaying.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about the generational scandal. Justice Thomas raked in $4 million in gifts.
And they know that that inevitably helps Trump. What makes this all the more preposterous is that 2 justices should have recused themselves from the immunity case already. One, Samuel Alito, who had 2 different coup flags flying outside his 2 homes, and Clarence Thomas, whose wife testified to the January 6th committee about her efforts in support of the coup. And that is just the first level at which this court is so deeply compromised. New data out today from Fix the Court takes a look at the value of gifts to justices over the past 20 years, both disclosed and then undisclosed gifts that were subsequently reported out. To take you through just a handful of them, give you a sense, Justice Elena Kagan's calculated to have received gifts valued at just under $1,200. That's over 20 years. Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, over $59,000. Again, over 20 years, $3,000 a year. Now,
bro, they're so bad. Get your fucking money up, dude. Yo. Where are my girl bosses, dude? What is this, $1,000? Lame ass. What the fuck is this? Bro, there's a dude on there raking in $4 million. Can you imagine? There's 1/9 of the Supreme Court is lapping the rest of it. Are you fucking serious? I'd be so pissed. This shit comes out, it's like, dude, the gender pay gap is real, okay? What the fuck? What are you doing this for? The love of the game? Like, you're just that much of a fucking nerd? The hell's wrong with you? Oh, I just love being a fucking law nerd, dude. I love being a Supreme Court of the United States Justice. It's so sick. I love wearing the shitty ass robe and deliberating. It's like, meanwhile, this dude is literally doing cocaine off of stripper titties on some fucking undisclosed billionaire island in a sea of Hitler statues, okay, getting $4 million of gifts. $4 million. Are you kidding me? Yeah, if you somehow found out one of your coworkers and you're doing the exact same job, okay? You're doing the exact same job. Because in some circumstances, maybe your job is different, your performance is different. You and your coworker are doing the exact same job and you found out that he's getting $4 million in return and you're getting $1,000. How do you not get pissed? And the winner of financial disclosure is Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, who reported that Beyonce Knowles Carter gifted her 4 concert tickets valued at $3,700. That's what, dude, that's lame, dude. That is lame as fuck. That's not enough. It's like this fucking freak refused to resign, okay? For what? 60 grand? Like, that makes me even more mad. At least if Ruth Bader Ginsburg was raking in $4 million a year, I'd be like, okay, that's valid. Like, that's the money train. You don't want that shit to dry up. $59,000? That's it? That's all you fucking got? That's why you had to die on the fucking Supreme Court, you ghoul? That's annoying as hell, bro. That sucks. That sucks so much dick, dude. Holy shit. We have a fucking super majority of conservative justices because this fucking demon had to get 60 grand worth of gifts. Fuck you. Extra. Fuck you extra hard. God damn. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Are we be for fucking real? What? Bro. She did this for a Nissan Altima, okay? Think about that.
Now, Justice Samuel Alito taking quite a bit more, $170,000 over 20 years. But none of that is in the zip code of the ballpark of Justice Clarence Thomas, whose gifts totaled over $4 million.
Yeah, Kavanaugh's is zero because he got his shit cleared before he became the SCOTUS. before he got into the SCOTUS. This graph is so frustrating. Oh my God. Oh my God. Look at that. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is so frustrating. There's only one guy I'm in support of in the Supreme Court of the United States, and that motherfucker is Clarence Thomas. I take back everything I said. I apologize, sir. I was not familiar with your game. Okay? I was not familiar with your game. I was wrong. You're a fucking baller. You're doing it right. This man said, I don't give a fuck. $4 million, bro. That's crazy.
To give you a sense of how that looks in chart form, take a look. Can you see where Justice Thomas is on that bar chart? The big red bar on the left? That's Clarence Thomas compared to all the other justices who served during this time. Melissa Murray is a professor at the New York University School of Law, co-host of...
Surely you should be more mad at Thomas. Are you being sarcastic? Maybe my tism stopped me from understanding. Yes, chatters. In an effort to clarify, I should have said /S, noting that I am being sarcastic.
Strict Scrutiny podcast along with Leah Lippman and my wife, Kate Shaw, and she joins me now. I got to say, at some level, we knew bits and pieces of this. There's been an amazing series of ProPublica articles, some of which won the Pulitzer, about all of the gifts that Thomas has gotten. But to see it put out like that, am I wrong? This is a generational scandal for the court.
Oh, 100%. I think you're exactly right. We have seen this sort of trickle out piecemeal, but having it splayed out in the aggregate really does make clear the expanse of the grift. I mean, I think that's the right term for it. It is a grift. If you think about Justice Thomas's salary over the course of his time on the court during this period that's been reported, it's roughly equal to the amount of the gifts that Fix the Court has identified here. I mean, that is actually quite staggering. He's managed to amass two distinct income streams.
Yeah, we actually ran the math on this. So the cumulative gross pay over that period,
$4 million over 20 years isn't that much? Bro, are you serious? Brother, they have salaries. They have side hustles. These are just direct gifts. They have their family members get jobs that get incredible amounts of pay. This is just the direct gift part of it. $4 million ain't that much? What is this? This is the amount of reported gift. Okay? This dude's out here making cake stream... cake streamer bags on top of his regular old fucking income.
It's about $4.7 million. The total gifts is over $4 million. He's got two masters. The servant of two masters.
Yeah, bro, his cumulative gross pay. Bro, his gifts are almost doubling his cumulative gross pay. Are you freaking... Dude!
He's working for... the American people, and then he's got...
Well, wait, which American people? So let's talk about that, because...
Well, he's been getting paid by the taxpayers.
Well, for sure. But, I mean, it has been said that look where your treasure is, for there your heart will be also. Right. And it's not surprising that some of the individuals...
He got the bag and you hate it? No. I'm saying, listen, he's playing the game, baby.
Who have been linked to some of these gifts, like the Koch brothers network, which has had Justice Thomas speak at donor events, for example, happens to be deeply involved in a set of major challenges to the regulatory state. These are cases we're still waiting for the court to decide, but we already know at least where the Koch brothers would like Justice Thomas to be. I guess now we're just waiting to find out have they made enough payments on it? I don't know. But that's kind of where all of this is going.
Part of, the argument that people will make in defense of Thomas is that, well, he was always a conservative anyway, and these are just his friends hooking him up.
No, and it's not unconstitutional to have friends. So I want to be very clear about that. You have a right to have friends, even rich friends. But I think where the optics of this become more...
Stay out of black people's business. Why are we pocket watching my man? Bro, oh, he's so sick. He's so nice with it. He's so unimaginably nice with it, dude. This guy is wow. Wow, bro. You guys are right. I'm pocket watching. I'm pocket watching. They are. This man is just getting his money up and not his funny up. Okay.
Problematic is that we are seeing.
He got paid and has a hot ride or die babe by his side. Some guys have all the luck. Oh no. Oh Jesus Christ.
Individuals essentially donate funds to the court to keep this conservative supermajority in play. I mean, so there's been a lot of reporting, some of it by the New York Times last year, about this Justice Thomas complaining about his small judicial salary, which is actually quite significant relative to what other Americans make, and how maybe he wouldn't stay on the court. And all of these very wealthy interests were like, no, no, no. Let's figure out how to keep you on the court and keep you happy. And suddenly you see the money.
I call him a race trader, but for 8 mil, maybe I would be too. Oh no. Oh no. Chatters are thinking about things very differently. Listen, dude. We know it's a valuable grift. I mean, look at Candace Owens, right? Just don't think about it too much though. Don't do it.
This is a really key point. I want to also talk about just the delay on the immunity case here, because it's not surprising. I think they tipped their hand when they took so long. First, they wouldn't let Jack Smith jump to the Supreme Court, even though we all knew they were going to want to weigh in. Even though they did it on COVID cases, they did it on student debt. Then they took it and they just sat on it for a while before they even announced arguments. Then they announced arguments on the very last day. Now it's been 6 weeks.
Yeah. No, I mean, we knew this. I've said this a million times. By the time the Supreme Court weighs in on this, and I think this court must say at some point that there is no absolute immunity for a president from any criminal liability, but there may be some details about what's private, what's public, what's in the outer scope, the outer perimeter of the president's office. But whatever they do...
A wholly invented doctrine, just to be clear.
To be clear. But whatever they decide, it is purely academic at this point, because they have already, in effect, immunized this defendant, Donald Trump, from liability for these criminal charges. And that's kind of all that matters right now.
I want to also play you this clip from Alito's neighbor who was in the sort of verbal altercation with him and his wife, who gave an interview. And she's making this point about, you know, when the flag went up, Alito says that it was...
Bro, I'm sorry, but this is like extra funny to still talk about the flag situation when like one of the Supreme Court justices over the course of the past 2 decades has brought in $4 additional million in gifts. Okay. Like, it's just, I don't give a fuck about no flag, son. What are we talking about, dude? I mean, that shit sucks too. Yeah. Oh, okay. Ooh, I think Samuel Alito might be pro-Trump. It's like, yeah, he is. Okay. What are we doing here? My man got $4 million, dude. What is happening? Oh, no. Oh, my God.
It was about this verbal altercation. Then he went to a Fox News reporter who just sort of reported exactly what he said and didn't, as far as I can tell, do any additional reporting. Here's...
Oh, yeah. The neighbor called them. Yo, I listened to the Samuel Alito neighbor. I'm almost convinced is one of you motherfuckers in this community. I'm not even kidding. I feel like the couple, I listened to the wife of the neighbors of Samuel Alito give an interview, and I literally am almost certain that either at a certain point they were Hasanabi heads or still are. Okay? I'm not even kidding. The way that they were talking, the way that she was talking, I was like, oh my God. She's like, they're fascists. She was like, I don't even like Biden. I think, you know, both sides have a lot going on. I don't like it at all, but like, these guys are fascists. I was saying Trump is a fascist. I put up a sign, and then she called her a cunt. Yeah, she called Samuel Alito's wife a cunt, which I thought was awesome.
His neighbor talking about the verbal back and forth they had.
I just want to emphasize that the interaction that happened on February 15th is the one that they're using as an excuse for why they flew the flag. And I really want to hammer home the fact that that happened on February 15th, and their flag went up 2 or 3 weeks before that.
That date's confirmed by text messages and a police call. Again, this may just be misremembered, but we still don't know why they were flying the flag upside down on Joe Biden's inauguration day, right?
No, we don't. My colleague.
I mean, we do know. We do know. We know because they're fucking. They flew the American flag upside down because they're fucking dramatic little bitches. Like, what are we talking about? Like, and then they flew the other like weird esoteric. What is it, like the Lebanese, the Lebanese flag looking one? They flew the flag of Lebanon. Where is it? This fucking pine tree flag or whatever. They showed it early on. I can't. An appeal to heaven flag. Yeah, that one. Because they're freaks. Yeah, this is the flag. An appeal. Another provocative flag was flown at another Alito home. I don't want to alarm anyone, but a second flag is hit the Alito home, ladies and gentlemen.
At NYU, Ryan Goodman has actually made a really good point about.
Another very funny thing about the Samuel Alito situation is that, so Samuel Alito came out and was like, oh, I'm a wife guy, and my wife was flying the flag, and I told my bitch wife to put the flag down, and she just refused to do so, and what can I do? I'm a wife guy, right? That was his defense, which I think is still pretty funny considering that Clarence Thomas's wife is literally, like, openly on the fucking phone lines at January 6th in broad daylight being like, are the Patriots rising up? Like, are we taking over? Like, Jeannie Thomas was literally an insurrectionist. Okay. So we're talking about wives of the Supreme Court justices. Like, Clarence Thomas is still doing the whole like $4 million to Samuel Alito's $100,000 equation there too. Clarence Thomas is fucking, he doesn't do half measures. Okay. Oh, y'all are getting gifts. I'm getting 4 million in gifts. Oh, your wife flew an appeal to heaven flag. Guess what? My wife literally did January 6th. Okay. My wife did January 6th personally. That's right.
Justice Alito last week issued this letter to Senators Durbin and Whitehouse explaining that he was not going to recuse himself from these January 6th related cases.
I love having a Democratic Senate, by the way. There's a fucking judiciary committee for this exact reason. Okay? Just before all of the liberals were like, oh, Hasan, you want Donald Trump to be president? Like, bitch, who's president right now? Who could hold a fucking singular committee meeting and have these motherfucking issues be addressed by Congress? Yeah, Senator Dick Do Nothing Durbin, bitch ass. Can you imagine? Bro, you know what's going to be really awesome? Trump is going to win. Republicans are going to win the Senate, let's say. And then they're going to hold a committee hearing, a Senate Judiciary Committee hearing, investigating Ketanji Brown's $3,700 worth of Beyonce Knowles tickets. Okay? They're going to be like, and then they're going to impeach Ketanji Brown. They're going to get Ketanji Brown off the fucking Supreme Court because of her Beyonce tickets. Okay? That's what's going to end up happening because Republicans would never let a good crisis go to waste. And Democrats will turn around and be like, well, see, you didn't vote for Biden. See what happens when you don't vote for Biden? Now we lost another Supreme Court justice. It's going to have fuck a supermajority, fuck a 6-3 supermajority. It's going to be 9-0. Okay? What are we doing? What the fuck are we doing, man? What are we doing? January 6th son or IDF supporting daughter? January 6th son. Easy. Not even a question.
Whether because of this flag or not, he has no obligation to recuse himself. If Ms. Baden is correct that the timeline is wrong, and it seems like the timeline is wrong, like there's a real discrepancy between her timeline and Justice Alito's, he's essentially lied to Congress. And Ryan Goodman, my colleague, has suggested maybe that is something worth investigating as a criminal matter. But there's a lot going on here. We haven't had these cases. Are they waiting because of the proximity of this scandal to those cases? Who knows? If that's the case, then we've already answered our question as to why Justice Alito should recuse, because we're already asking those questions.
Ding, ding, ding.
It's too complicated. It's not impartial.
Melissa Murray, who is fond of flags, as far as I know.
Flagrantly
fond of